This machine is called a relaxometer, and it measures my stress levels by measuring the amount of sweat on my fingertips electrically. And at the moment, when I switch it on, as you can see, I'm fairly relaxed, so the sound it's making is a low pitch. But as I sweat more and get more and more stressed, so the pitch rises to a high squeal. I'm not looking forward to this, but let's see what happens when it crawls over my hand. Although I know these spiders are harmless, I simply can't control my reactions. But why are so many of us afraid of spiders? And snakes. The fear is a legacy from a time when these creatures were a very real threat to our survival. That's why, across all cultures and continents, we're primed to spot them instantly. And fear of snakes is the #1 fear. Here in Los Angeles, we've set up an experiment. We've reassured everyone that these snakes aren't poisonous. But can the modern temptation of a $10 bill overcome our ancient fear?
$10 is not enough.
But there's just so many of them.
No.
I could never put my hand in there, ever. Oh, for anybody in the world. I know it sounds crazy, but I have chills even being near them. I know it sounds like a chick thing, but I can't help it. They just, they're like death to me. They're like the epitome of death.
This one's coming after me. Nah, it's not worth it for $10.
$500? I would try for $1 million. $10? No. No way.
Of course, it is possible to overcome our instincts.
Oh my God, I know what it is. Oh. A little bit, yeah.
But overcoming them is quite a battle.
Snaky, snaky. Oh, little guy. Hi, little guy. Oh, hi, hi. Whoa.
Fear is so important for our survival, we do something absolutely remarkable. Our bodies begin to react to a threat before we're even consciously aware of what the threat might be. Because when we're faced with danger, milliseconds count. At the first hint of danger, early warning signals are sent to the brain via the optic nerve, to our tiny and primitive fear center, the amygdala. This prepares our body for action. Next, nerve pulses are fired down the spinal cord to the adrenal glands near our kidneys. This triggers a release of adrenaline. Now we're on full alert. Adrenaline is the vital hormone that can flood our body in a split second. As it reaches our lungs, we breathe more deeply and take in more oxygen. It also makes our heart beat faster. Oxygen-rich blood is diverted to our muscles. They are now charged springs, waiting for the signal to run or fight. All this before our conscious mind has even registered a threat. This reaction to fear has evolved over millions of years and is known as the fight or flight response. But what happens when there's nowhere to run? One woman was to discover just what she was capable of when her life was suddenly under threat. It began when June Brailsford was waiting in the car for her boyfriend Anthony.
We parked outside the shop. Anthony left the keys in the ignition, kept for the music and the heater for myself. He went into the shop. I was texting my friend on my mobile phone. Next minute, somebody got in the car. I assumed it was Anthony. When I've looked, thought, wait a minute, this isn't him. The guy just drove off with me in the car. And all the time he just repeated, "You're going to die, bitch." That's all he said all the time. And that's exactly what I thought. I thought he would probably take my life.
With nowhere to run, June felt the urge to fight back with the strength she had never imagined she possessed. She fought against her attacker by grabbing the steering wheel in the hope of taking control.
The more I thought about surviving for myself and my children, and I just fought for my life. I wasn't frightened, I didn't feel like fear, I just wanted to fight. I lent myself as far over him as I possibly could, knowing that it gave me an edge.
Then, June saw her chance.
I saw a wall and I thought, that is the best opportunity I'm going to have. And I just turned it as far as I possibly could. I just drove the car and then it hit the wall. He managed to get out and that's how it ended. I don't think of it being brave, I just think that it was survival. It was, you know, you've got to fight.
The fight or flight response has helped humans stay alive for thousands of generations. But our armory of survival instincts doesn't end there. Our inbuilt responses can be very sophisticated, helping us to react to surprisingly subtle dangers. Here, at the London School of Hygiene and Tropical Medicine, Dr. Valerie Curtis has been researching how our feelings of disgust help us stay alive. Dr. Curtis showed me pairs of similar objects.
What I'd like you to do is to tell me which of the two you find most disgusting.
So here on the right we've got a wasp, and on the left we've got a head louse. The wasp is utterly beautiful. The louse, I think I'd prefer not to have the louse really, given the choice. We've got some eggs on a leaf, which look like happy little faces really, not particularly unpleasant. But the gum infection with the larvae is just disgusting. I mean, repellent. Yuck.
Now, what I'd like you to do with these is to put your fingers into them, please. And then tell us which is the most disgusting.
Am I allowed to wipe my finger afterwards?
You are, yes, there's some towels for you.
Well, the one on the right, it looks like pus, it's got blood in it. And I find it easy to put my finger into this blue one. Mm. It's all sort of mucousy. And the finger in this one, in terms of yuck factor, I'm afraid the yellow wins, hands down. It is not nice.
No.
And the torturous comparisons continued.
Yeah.
Slugs versus leeches.
No, it's the leeches, and I just think that they are awful. Oh!
Caterpillars and maggots.
Take the lid off if you like.
I don't want to.
It just got more and more disgusting.
Earthworms. and human roundworms.
Can you imagine having that inside your tummy?
Those all came from one person.
It's got little babies coming out of it. Oh.
And then, just when I thought it couldn't get any worse, 2 sinister empty vials appeared.
V is vinegar.
That's right.
Oh. God, that's unpleasant. Organic smell.
Yes,
What is it?
It's skatol, which is a component of human feces.
Yes, well, it smells like it.
So what is the common factor which makes one of these things more instinctively repellent than the other? It's their potential to give us a disease or make us sick. Lice, leeches and roundworms are all parasites that feed on our bodies. Like the larvae in this person's mouth, all of them can easily spread illness. The yellow goo looks worse because, again, it seems like the result of some horrible infection. Maggots thrive in feces, which is riddled with harmful bacteria.
I have to smell that again, do I?
Even though the existence of bacteria and the damage they can cause has only been discovered in the last 150 years, people in all cultures all over the world and throughout history share feelings of disgust. Valerie Curtis is convinced that our disgust instinct is so strong we even fear contamination from objects which are perfectly safe, but which we associate with germs.
A bowl of your favourite vegetable soup.
I love vegetable soup.
No, before you eat it, there's one thing I want to do to it. This is a toilet brush. I've just taken it out of its wrapper.
Yeah, I was feeling quite hungry.